Hi! In the previous video, we took a look at SEBI Insider Trading Regulations of 2015. In that, we saw the history of insider trading, the meaning of the term insider trading, the various committees that were formed to deliberate on the topic, and we took a look at some important terms such as connected persons, insider, and we finally concluded the video by taking a look at three main regulations, which are Regulation 3, Regulation 4, and Regulation 5. Hi! My name is Sai. I'm a SEBI expert. In this video, we'll be taking a look through SEBI Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeover Regulations of 2011. Let us take a look at what is SEBI Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeover Regulations of 2011, or otherwise known as the Takeover Code. The Takeover Code prescribes a systematic framework for acquisition of stakes in a public company or a listed company. It is all over the news that the Adani Group has acquired stakes in NDTV and they are going for an open offer. What exactly does this mean? Well, this is exactly what is being provided in SEBI Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeover Regulation of 2011, otherwise known as SEBI Takeover Code. SEBI Takeover Code provides a systematic framework for acquisition of stake in a listed company or a public company. These regulations ensure that the interests of the shareholders in the public company are not compromised in the event of a takeover or an acquisition. There are three types of takeovers that happen generally. One is a friendly takeover, wherein the management of both the companies are on the same page and an agreement has been worked out between them. Second is a hostile takeover. A hostile takeover is a scenario where the management of the target company is not aware of the fact that the acquirer has been acquiring shares in the target company. And the last one is a bailout, wherein a financially sound company takes over the management of a weaker company. Let us take a look at some important terms that one needs to know when dealing with the takeover code. The first one is acquirer. Acquirer means any person who directly or indirectly acquires or agrees to acquire shares or voting rights or control over a target company. The second important term is control. Control means the right to appoint majority of directors or control the management or policy decisions directly or indirectly by virtue of one's shareholding. Another important term that one must be aware of is persons acting in consort. Persons who with a common objective or purpose of acquiring shares or voting rights or exercising control over a target company pursuant to an agreement or understanding, formal or informal, directly or indirectly cooperate for the purpose of acquisition of shares, voting rights, or control over the target company. We've been talking about the term target company. Let us take a look at what it actually means. Any company or body corporate whose shares are listed on a recognized stock exchange means a target company. In simple words, it means any company in which shares are being acquired. Finally, let us take a look at what does the term open offer mean. Open offer is a mechanism to provide an exit opportunity for the existing shareholders of the target company in the event of an acquisition or a takeover. We just saw that an open offer is an exit mechanism that is given to the shareholders of the target company in case of an acquisition or takeover. Does this mean whenever I purchase any shares or securities in a public company, I am obligated to give an open offer? No. Let us take a look at what are the trigger points for making an open offer. First one is the acquisition of shares or voting rights in excess of 25%. An acquirer, along with persons acting in consort, if any, intends to acquire shares which, along with his existing shareholding, would entitle him to exercise 25% or more of the voting rights, can acquire such additional shares only after making a public announcement to acquire minimum 26% of the target company from the shareholders through an open offer. To put it simply, take a look at this table. In this case, we have two scenarios, situation A and situation B, wherein the first scenario says that the pre-holding is 1% and for situation B also the pre-holding is 1%. Let us take a look at the proposed acquisition. Now in situation A it is 26% and in situation B it is 23%. Now once this acquisition is complete, the post-holding will become as follows. 27% in case of situation A and 24% in case of situation B. Now, in case of situation A, we exceed this threshold of 25% we had earlier discussed. Hence, an open offer under the Takeover Code is mandatory. Whereas in situation B, we stand at 25% and we have not crossed the prescribed threshold of 25%. Hence, an open offer under the Takeover Code is not mandatory. Now, let us take a look at the second trigger in which an open offer is mandatory, which is otherwise known as creeping acquisition limit. An acquirer who holds 25% or more but less than the max permissible non-public shareholding of the target company can acquire such additional shares which would entitle him to exercise more than 5% of the voting rights in any financial year ending 31st March can acquire such additional shares only after making a public announcement to acquire minimum 26% of the target company from the shareholders through an open offer. In order to better understand this creeping acquisition limit, let us take a look at the following table. In this table, there are two scenarios, situation A and situation B. In situation A and situation B, the pre-holding stands at 26%. The creeping acquisition in case of situation A is at 3%, whereas in situation B, it is at 6%. The post-holding in case of situation A becomes 29%, and in case of situation B becomes 32%. Now, under the Takeover Code, in situation A, we acquired only 3%, which is less than the prescribed limit of 5%. Hence, an open offer under the code is not required. Whereas in situation B, we have crossed the threshold of 5%, which stands at 6%. Hence, an open offer under the Takeover Code is mandatory. Let us take a look at some important points that have to be noted while making a public announcement of an open offer. Public announcement of an open offer must be sent to all stock exchanges where the shares of the target company are listed. Number 2, a copy must be sent to SEBI and to the target company at its registered office. Along with the public announcement, a detailed public statement has to be made within 5 days of the public announcement. Let us take a look at the process of takeover in a glance. The first step is the appointment of merchant banker prior to making the public announcement of an open offer. The second step is making the public announcement of an open offer. The third step is the opening of an escrow account 2 working days prior to the date of detailed public statement. The fourth step is publishing the detailed public statement within 5 working days from the date of public announcement. The fifth step is the filing of the draft offer of letter with SEBI and sending a copy to the stock exchanges and the target company. The sixth step is the opening of the tendering period, and the tendering period shall remain open for a period of 10 days. The seventh step is the payment of consideration to the shareholders within 10 days of closing of the tendering period. The final step is the making the post-offer advertisement within 5 days from the closure of the offer period. In this video, we took a look at SEBI Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeover Regulation of 2011, otherwise known as SEBI Takeover Code, some important terms associated with the code, the process in which the takeover happens, some points to be noted when it comes to open offer, and what are the trigger points for making an open offer. In order to know more and stay updated, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.